So Matt, how much money can I make selling on Amazon? We get this all the time. I just got somebody ask it yesterday. Realistically, if you think you're going to start off with £100 or $100 and turn it into 50 grand, you're not going to do that. Now, some people have started with as little as £100 or $100 or 200 or 400 or 500. People start all the time, and that's cool. But as long as you manage your expectations, if you're starting with, say, $200 or pounds, if you start with 200, you're not going to turn it into a 100 grand business within 6 months. It's not realistic, because you've got to buy the stock, then you've got to sell the stock with a profit. You take the profit out, you buy more stock. So the very fact that you have to do that means it's going to take time to start compounding. Now, once it compounds over the course of months or years, you can start to see really significant returns from small amounts of cash. But it's like anything else. If you've got more cash to invest in the beginning, then you're going to grow faster. So if you're starting off with 10 grand, you're going to grow a lot faster. I mean, a lot faster than somebody that's starting off with 100. But it's not about looking at other people and saying, well, oh, they've got 2 grand and I've only got 200. Look, it's getting started wherever you're at and figuring it out. So how much money can you make? Honestly, how long's a piece of string? Some people literally make 6 figures doing this, and they started with modest amounts of investment. And when they see it working, maybe they'd borrow money from a friend or family, or maybe they'd put it on a credit card or whatever. I'm not encouraging you to do that as a beginner. I think you should invest only what you've already got saved. Don't borrow to do this. Now, when you're down the line and you want to scale and you know what you're doing, that's a conversation for another time. Maybe you will. But in the start, stay modest, try it out. Throw a little bit of money at it that you can afford and get started, and you'll soon start to see that, oh, okay, so that 1,000 turned into 1,300. Okay, I'll go again. Now that 1,300 turned into, and I'm just making up figures here, but it turned into 1,700. And then you go again, that 1,700 turned into 2.5 grand. And as the numbers get bigger, obviously your returns will get bigger. But ultimately, it depends on how much you're starting with. A good starting point is, I like to say, a minimum 500. I had somebody say that was quite experienced yesterday, just said, I got started with 100. That's what they said to me. So you can start with less, but the more you've got, the better. And you'll get a better return on it. But again, just try it out. You don't have to go all in. You don't have to remortgage your house and chuck it all into Amazon stock. Take it easy. Try it out. Make sure you understand it works for you. And just have a play. You know, it's a great business model, but I wouldn't say, yeah, throw 100 grand at it because you've got 100 grand. I would say, look, use some of your cash, or maybe all of your cash if you're not that much, but use some of your cash to give it a shot, give it a try, see what happens, and ultimately, you'll be the decider on how much money you can make. It's a numbers game. And it's a marathon, not a sprint, as they say. Both analogies that I see thrown around a lot in the online arbitrage space. But it's true. It is a numbers game, and it is a marathon, not a sprint. If you think you're going to hit the ground running with $100 or £100, you're not gonna. But that's not to say you can't get started and you can't make it work and you can't make a bit of side hustle income. But just talking absolute numbers, I know people making 2-3 grand a year to go on a nice holiday in their very spare time. They almost do zero work for that. Very, very little effort. And I know people that are making multiple 6 figures doing this exact business model. They take it a bit more seriously. Maybe they've got a lot of outsourcing going on. So they might have got their own warehouse at that point. You don't need a warehouse. You can do this from home. You can do it in your spare time. You can do it around your job. You can do it around your family commitments or other commitments. So it's a really good way to get started, and just give it a shot. I don't know how much money you're going to make, but I do know that as far as success rates go, most beginners that actually follow this process, get started and actually try it, do make money. How much money that will be totally decided by you and nobody else other than you. So hopefully that makes sense. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video.